Hey girls, Maria Menounos here, author of the Every Girl's Guide to Life. Want to know my best tips and secrets for organization, travel, weight loss, beauty, fashion, and everything else in between? Go to bing.com/Maria and pick up my new book, The Every Girl's Guide to Life.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Ian Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for the Glee Project. Tonight's host is Pat Lambert. Joining Pat will be AfterBuzz co-hosts Caitlin Cutler and Tamara Berg. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip about the Glee Project. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, Pat Lambert.
It's a mad world. Hello and welcome to the Glee Project.
Yay.
Hello. Thank you for coming back.
Yay.
Just like this show. I'm obsessed with the show. I'm your host, Pat Lambert, and here tonight we have
Caitlin Cutter. Hey guys. And Tamara Berg.
Hello, how have you girls been, darling?
Great.
Good?
Fabulous.
Absolutely. And this show,
And you?
did this show not take you to a deeper, darker place? Not as fun and gleeful as usual. Fun.
No, but wonderful.
But emotional.
But wonderful, yeah.
Probably,
emotional.
Probably my favorite episode of the show so far.
I am too. Mine too.
And I would say that it would beat certain episodes of Glee. I will actually give it that straight
Whoa.
And I will tell you
That's
why.
a big thing.
Because there were things in this that I was so impressed with ideas, with quality, with the way
Yeah.
things were shot. There was some great stuff in this episode.
I agree.
Yes,
I
there
totally
was.
agree.
So to fly you through what happened in this episode, the theme every year
for prom.
Every episode there's a new theme.
Every year for prom, we have
And
a fabulous theme.
yes, and the theme of this episode is
Vulnerability.
vulnerability, and we've talked about it in the acting studio. Vulnerability is one of the hardest things. You know, it's really hard to just be vulnerable on camera. I'm talking quiet to be vulnerable, because that's not me. But yeah, vulnerability, and we talked about how to do it. They talked about how to do it in vocals and performance, about it's in the subtlety of it all.
And Nikki was saying how difficult it is
Yep.
to do during vocals.
And certain people took it and flew. Certain people starred. And certain people fell to the wayside. And there was kind of a shocking bottom three and a shocking elimination, in my opinion. So let's go straight to it. We start off the episode. They introduce vulnerability as the theme.
Yep.
And they sing Pink's Please Don't Leave Me. Great song. Certain performers, though. Huh?
Sad song.
Sad
it
song.
is.
Please don't leave me. Same debate as last week. Didn't sound like it was actually saying live.
No, yeah.
No.
I was like, your lips aren't matching the sounds right now.
Yeah, and so don't
Do
you
they
think about that? So
pre-record that?
how do they do that?
Like,
So and then
why?
are they live lip syncing in front of the guest judge each week? And how weird is
and
that?
it's like the
why?
lights turn on, then they turn off, and it's like back to the normal class. It's
Yeah.
a very weird little like setup there.
It is. It's
Yeah,
interesting though.
and weird,
It's interesting. I love it. I mean, like I wouldn't mind being part of it, but
No.
We know that.
oh, if I haven't mentioned, I should be on Glee. Hence why I'm hosting the show. It's
Right.
my attempt.
Right. Absolutely. Every week an audition.
But Pink, that song was great.
Uh-huh.
What do you think? Who did well and who didn't? And the special guest,
Oh
which
yeah,
the
yeah.
special
Let's talk
guest,
about Dot Marie Jones.
Dot Marie Jones, who plays Beast. One of my favorite
Coach
characters
Beast.
of the last season.
Oh
Yes.
yes.
Get out of here! Like Beast was great. You know, great character.
She's
Maybe not as
amazing.
sexy and exciting as Adina Menzel or Darren Criss, but nonetheless, I would be honored to be in her
Oh,
presence.
for sure.
Absolutely.
So who did you like and who did you not like? Because I know.
Go.
I know who I liked.
Let's see. I really liked Matea. I just
Mateus.
like how
Yeah.
Mateus. Yeah, when he
Yeah.
goes in there, he sings, he gives it all, he has the moves.
Tiny
and
Tim
just,
can sing.
Yeah, I just fall in love with him every time he goes up there.
What did he sing? He had a great part, and he won. He was the winner.
Yes,
of the contest.
again.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that I hated again.
In this piece.
Yes. And
Lindsay.
Lindsay
I
is
knew
so
it.
annoying.
I knew you were gonna
Yeah.
say
She's
that.
the most annoying little bitch in the world. Sorry, I said bitch. Oh my God, that's so mean.
Oh my
She's a bitch.
God.
She's so annoying. Like, great performance, overacted. Doc
Right.
gives Dot so kind, really nice.
She was very
warmth
kind,
in her
yes.
voice was like, Lindsay, I felt like yours was just, vulnerability is about subtlety, and yours was just over the top.
It wasn't that at all.
Yeah,
Lindsay
she
said.
could not
It
take
wasn't that
herself.
at all. Like as an act, I'm like, she makes me sick. She's one of those kids that I was in theater camp with who was like, I'm an actor. I was like, you were in like the 3rd grade play. Like,
Right.
shut up. Like,
Right.
what are you, the star of your high school
No,
play
but
in
didn't you-
Minnesota? Like,
Didn't you just
Good
want to
night.
throw daggers at her when
Did
she said
the
that
rest-
was not what
Yes.
I was doing?
Hannah rolls her
She
eyes.
was basically said to Dot, "No, you misinterpreted me. You're wrong." I mean, she absolutely said
when would you?
that.
Yeah.
It's just one.
Are
I
you
think
kidding?
with someone like that, it's just so clear that she is socially retarded.
Yeah.
Because there are certain morals, not morals.
Mores.
There's certain mores to how to like properly act
Right.
or be respectful.
Yeah.
Right.
When would it ever come across your mind to be like, no, I contest what you're saying about me because I'm real. Like that was and it was like, shut up. She said you're
Because
bad.
she's used to getting trophies for
You
everything.
lose.
She was-
Yeah. Trophy
When
girl.
oh my
Trophy
God, don't
girl.
even go there. When, when they were like, what's everyone's insecurities? And she's like, well,
I'm
a
too
trophy.
fabulous.
And people, like, it's hard when you look like this. I'm like, yeah, because you're about to get a black eye in your freaking face.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm too awesome. That's my
it's just
vulnerability.
it's hard to be this good. I was like, okay, Rachel Berry is a
Good
character.
looking.
Rachel Berry is a character, not a real life thing.
Yeah.
Okay, work it out, sister.
I thought she was. Oh my God. yeah.
So bad. She's so annoying. And even the rest of the group, Hannah like kind of rolls her eyes and is like so embarrassed for the group that
And-
she's.
Yeah, I just want to say for the record, Hannah, I fell in love with her like 5 times in this episode. Of course, she got
I
to
love
talk
Hannah.
a lot.
I
I love
love
her
Hannah.
anyway, but she got to talk so much, and she really has some good insight, and I
She
think
does.
she's a lovely
And
gal,
she's got great
and
sense
she's
of
genuine.
Her humor is
Yes.
so great.
Yeah,
I
She
totally agree.
provides great like sound bites and like reality parts of this. She's like,
Yeah.
well, like this week's not gonna be so funny to put on the fat suit, but
I'm
I'll
definitely
do it.
not
Like,
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, I'm not excited for this. I love her. I think
Yeah.
she'd be a great character. I think she's so funny. She's got
I know.
she's
She's
got a
real.
gift of good character.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
And that's what will translate to people.
Yes.
Yes.
And I love her red hair. You know that I've been into the big girls from the start.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Dot, I think if I were in Dot's position, Dot was like, well, I'm sorry like that. I'm just saying the way that I reacted to it. AKA, I'm an audience. If I think you look fake, you do. You're
Right.
fake.
Yeah,
you know, like,
absolutely.
It's not about what you think. I'm the one watching you. I'm the one who's supposed to be made to feel something, not you.
And she said that
And
basically.
yeah, if I were in that space, I'd go, okay, well, when you're standing in my position, maybe you can say something different, but you're appealing to me. So thanks. Goodbye next.
Thank you.
But the winner is Mateus, which was great.
Did you say who you liked? Did you say who you
Mateus.
liked?
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
liked Mateus. I loved Alex again.
Yeah,
Alex-
I know.
Alex
Me
is
too.
just so gifted and
Yes.
is so
She
good.
is.
Yes, he.
Alex is big black gay.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, that
Like
was
back gay.
big black gay. See, I feel bad that I've stereotyped him, but I enjoy that about him. I like big black gays.
Yes.
But when he got up there and sang, it was the emotion in his face and what he can do with his vocals. It translates so quickly to the emotion that he's saying in a song.
Yes.
So it's so good. Alex was brilliant.
He was brilliant.
Mateus, you know that I'm not a huge fan.
I do know that.
I
And
know
I
that-
have been from the very
and he's
beginning.
very good.
Yeah.
And this week, out of all of them, I think we watched him and said there could be a spot for you on Glee.
Well, and what I appreciated, and Dot talked about this, what I appreciated about Mateus's performance in this was that he wasn't playing vulnerable. He
Right.
was being vulnerable.
He was being vulnerable.
He was being subtle. He
And
was
that's
being
what-
simple.
Yeah, that's what the judges even kind of noticed when he was performing the music video. They were saying this is the week that he's come into his own and stopped trying to be something he's not. He's just accepted the kind of awkward or interesting or quirkiness of his fact of who he is.
And
Yes.
and his Sing for Your Life last week we didn't like because
it was like,
because
I'm gonna act, give
Yeah.
you hell.
Yes. He did.
so he
Yes.
didn't make it there, but he's made a turn,
He's made
little
a
bit of a
turn.
turn. So maybe,
So
maybe we'll
that,
turn
but
you
it was
into
quick. It was quick to get through
Yeah.
that contest, and they introduced the music video. Oh, and one of my favorite things about this whole show is that it's not just like a sing and dance off. It's about music videos. It's about producing something.
Yes.
Like this was the first one, and we're watching it right now. We're watching it back. I was so impressed with this video. I live next to City Walk, and I've been through City Walk a million times. I was so drastically impressed with the way that this looked, and the way that it was shot, and the way that it was edited.
Phenomenal.
It was so good that I was like, I hope this is on YouTube and I can share it on my Facebook. Like it was
Yes.
so good.
Yes. It was touching.
This I would say is better than Pink's music video for this very same song. I'm a big music video person, and I was very impressed with this one.
This is Mad World.
I was too.
Mad World. That was Mad World. But so Eric White, who's music video director, comes in to introduce that they're going to do Mad World,
Right.
which is a classic, sad deep song about vulnerability.
Yeah.
And that what they'll have to do is they'll have to put on a poster that says their biggest insecurity and walk through Universal City Walk in public to be taped for it. Mm-hmm. And then the conversation got deeper than I thought it would.
Me too.
Yes, I didn't
You know?
expect to go that deep.
I expected like Hannah, like I was like, oh, she'll put fat. And like Hannah was just like, yeah, I'll put fat. You know, it sucks to be fat. And like lived with it. But some people really brought out like
Yes.
some big boulders, you know? And so let's go into it. Who said what? So
Alex Gay just came out to his mom. he was
Yes.
saying. So this was
Yes.
kind of a recent development for him, and
Yep.
I don't know if maybe he was hiding in his mannerisms more before he came out, there was no question that
I mean,
he
there's no
was gay
question
for
that he's
us.
fabulously gay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that his vocal range is that of like Mariah. Like
But clearly to declare it that publicly for him was a
on
challenge.
national
You know,
television.
yeah.
Like,
National
he
television.
was like, yeah, I just told my mom, and like to know that he has to go back if he doesn't win, like or eventually
Right.
he's gonna have to go back to his high school.
Yep.
And he's already gonna be kind of a star from this show.
Yes.
But now he's gonna be like the gay kid.
Right.
Like
He's
even
known
I
for
said like
that.
even when you were like, oh, who's Alex? I was like, oh, the big black
Big black
the
gay.
big black gay.
Yeah.
And I know that's so wrong, but that's
But that's what he's going to be known for.
known for, and that's okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Especially
you got to
with
love
what's
it.
happening like in today's society, and even what Glee has done for the idea of gay.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. yes.
Absolutely.
It's desensitized how people react to it. That it's not as taboo to be like, I'm gay. It's like, okay, well, pass the sugar. Like, who cares?
Right.
Yeah.
nowadays? It's almost celebrated. It's like, I want a gay best friend.
High five.
You know, high five. That's
Yeah.
great. I'm so jealous. Oh my god. I know so many girls who are like, I wish I was a lesbian. Guys suck.
Oh, yeah, you're telling me.
Yeah, Sally and me, sister. But Alex had, and we'll get into performances, but I think his was the best. Cameron
Cameron.
was misunderstood.
Right.
He's from Texas. Again, thank God our other co-host isn't here because we were obsessed with Cameron.
I know.
I'm in love with Cameron.
So am
He
I.
is so cute.
He's dreamy.
He's so cute. He has great hair, great skin, bone structure,
I know.
cute little body.
The way he walks.
He has really broad shoulders, and I was
yes.
like, for an awkward kid,
Yeah.
I'm like, you're painted awkward. You were not birthed into an awkward.
He's kind of
thing.
like a Rob Pattinson, like an
Oh, Rob-
awkward, handsome.
I think he's so
kind
much
of-
cuter than Rob Pattinson too.
Oh,
Y-
for
no,
sure.
no.
Actually, yeah.
But he's got the Robert Pattinson like awkward,
Yeah,
cool,
which
like-
is really cute
Oh,
and
it's
humbling.
so cute. I think he's so cute. But
dreamy.
so his
He's
difficulty was his insecurity was, it sucks to be kind of like, not have many insecurities.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
he was
Kinda
like,
hard to be
I'm
good.
terribly
it's
well-adjusted.
hard to be in Texas and be a hipster. Wow.
Being, like, really
Your
good
life
looking.
must suck. I don't know how you deal with that. But I can understand that that's a vulnerability. But his biggest struggle in this episode was they couldn't really translate.
Yeah, because he
Misunderstood.
hasn't.
Yeah.
it appears he hasn't had
He's,
Too
he's,
many-
he's,
yeah.
he's within his own self. He was like, yeah, I wasn't the cool kid.
He's just
I
so
think
normal.
He's so cool, though.
So normal.
Normal without being normal.
Yeah.
I also think that I come from a lot of cities, and that kind of fashion is like street fashion. Like that's not new. That's like Brooklyn hipster. It's normal.
Houston or
Houston,
wherever
Texas,
he's from.
it's like
Yeah, totally
in
Texas
church.
or
where your
Louisiana.
jeans at? Why aren't you wearing
Yeah.
a belt?
Yeah.
And camouflage. That's
Those
all
are
he's
my
missing.
sister's jeans.
Yeah.
So Cameron has misunderstood. Damien has numb.
I like
Yeah.
That was kind of a deep one.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because we see this quick picture of Damien like in this like Celtic Thunder picture with a boy band or
Yeah.
something
Yes.
in Ireland. So apparently like he has a career of some sort that he's going for,
Right.
not just some Irish kid, which I
Right.
didn't know.
I didn't either. Yeah.
But his was
That was
numb because he
surprising.
feels like he's just going through the motions, and it's revealed later that he had a breakup where he chose his career over a relationship that he
Right.
cared about.
Yes.
But then he also said, that he was afraid that he was never going to be able to love someone for it sounded like he said, like preferred or necessary amount of time. And I don't know what that meant, but
I think it means that
I'm
his-
sure it tied to that breakup.
Like I know that I am someone I could relate to that in the sense that I have come a long way, but for a long time relationships or even friendships or family was always second best to what I wanted professionally. And I think there's a lot of people that it happens to. That if you want to be like a star or something like that, it's a long road and it feels like you're doing it alone.
Right.
But it's best done with your friends.
Yeah.
And
Right.
a lot of people leave a lot of people in the dust.
Yeah.
They choose an audition over
Yeah. Dinner.
date.
their sister's recital.
date,
You know,
yeah.
they choose. I just did the Kardashian show. That's like the main theme of the show is choosing family over business. But Damien has Numb, and it was very deep.
Very
Yeah.
You know, he had a hard time with it. Emily.
Emily,
Whoa.
yes.
Yeah.
I was
Emily-
surprised.
Emily's was used because she said that she had been taken advantage of by
By
music
producers,
executives and producers before in her career.
I have something to say about that
What do you
because
say?
it was I felt like she was acting.
A
You
little
think so?
I
bit.
did a little bit, and I
Oh my
felt
goodness.
I felt bad about it. But here's
You
the
felt
thing:
bad that you felt.
I
that you
felt
she
bad
was
that
acting.
I was
Right. Judging her in that sense.
suspect of
Right.
her of her story.
Of the validity. of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And part of it was she was going like, and then and she was crying, but there were no tears coming out.
You really are you still suspect to it?
No, not so much.
'Cause that
But
didn't
in
cross
the
my
time,
mind.
in the moment while she was talking about it, I felt like she was either maybe not making it up, but maybe making it bigger than it was.
Yeah, I
think?
could see that.
It's
I
just how I felt at the moment, and
It's
and like I
interesting
said,
that you bring that up,
I
'cause
feel bad that I'm
I almost think
challenging
like part of
her.
that. I don't know if part of that might come from we didn't like her before this episode.
Maybe.
Because she's so
Absolutely.
over the top,
I'm
and
sure
she's
that's
annoying,
part of
and
it.
you would expect her to act it.
Mhm.
But I know that I was thoroughly convinced, and I was actually going to say out of stars of the episode, and we get to like Emily at the end, but Emily was my favorite out of the whole episode.
Really?
Like she showed a new side where she was no longer just a nuisance.
She did.
She was funny, enjoyable. She made people laugh. She made people think, cry. She performed brilliantly.
She was absolutely less annoying for me this
So much.
weekend.
The other ones were that she was like
I wouldn't say I loved her.
It was
by
like she
any
was
means.
fighting with Lindsay and saying catty things, whereas this one was the first time that we saw her as like a cool girl. Like I really liked Emily this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
when I wouldn't think of it suspect when she said that she had been used. Like I know I have plenty of friends who have
well, and the way
come
she,
back to me in tears and said like, "Oh, tonight, like, guess what happened?" Or like, you know,
Right.
"I thought I was going to a meeting."
Yeah.
and the way she acts and reacts in normal life would support that a
Right.
history of abuse. Having to
Right.
like you were saying, Caitlin, be on top of everything and one upping people and always being
One-upping,
and
on the
yes.
ball.
divas
That
tend to
is
have
that kind of
Yeah. to have
modus operandi.
to have the confidence to be a diva often comes from either
From
Pain.
her
neglect or pain.
Yeah.
You know, you had
Exactly.
to
For sure.
you had to compensate in your character.
For sure. And
Absolutely.
I will also say it might have just been editing, but I just felt I felt some dissonance while she was doing it. It just didn't feel entirely
Caitlin, what
genuine
about
to me.
you?
That's all.
What do you think about the way she acts or dresses? Sometimes that can grab attention from guys, when your chest is out. And maybe she portrayed it differently if someone is talking to her, like, hey, you want to go out later? And she's like, oh, he's hitting on me if I want this part.
because she said she was like, I've been taken advantage of by producers. And then she like paused and she said like, I've been sexually taken advantage
Yes,
of.
she did say that.
You know,
Oh.
she
did
made
say
it
that.
she made it very explicit. And like
Yeah.
those other kids are like 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
Like they are not exposed to the industry.
No.
Like this is their first break.
She's
Right.
the oldest one, too, right?
She's 22. She was like, I'm
22.
the oldest. I'm 22. And I was like, oh God, that's not old. I'm almost 22. Like, oh God. But I think that was also another big moment for them. Like that's a huge thing to open up to, you know,
On TV, too.
on TV.
Yeah.
So
It's-
I don't know. I know that you were suspect, but I was very moved by when she revealed that. And she set a tone for those other kids to really step up to the plate, which some of them did. Samuel, what was Samuel's? Rejected.
Rejected.
Even he
Yeah.
got teared
Denied
up.
her.
You know, and normally I would be annoyed that he would get teared up because I don't always like him. I think he's so cute and interesting, but he was saying he never feels like he's good enough in a relationship. That he like is supposed to be bigger and better for his girls.
Yeah.
It was I really liked this episode, and
I
that's
did
what I think
too.
people.
I
that's what
really
people like
did.
about actors, and that's why people love gossip magazines. Actually, it's not because they want to know about what's happening in their life, but they want to feel something.
Connected.
And
They
yeah,
want
they
to
want to
know-
relate.
They want to see the people that they look up to so much have the same pain and experience the same pain that we do.
Yes.
It's almost like what's the German word Schadenfreude?
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude. It's like you want to share in the fact that they've had the same kind of pain that you have.
Yeah.
And in this episode, it was very interesting to see the complexities of their character,
Yes.
their real personal
Yes.
character come
Yeah.
through. really beautiful
And
too.
another thing just about that is they're young, and of course, many traumas that everyone goes through happen in
high
childhood
school.
because you've got so many things going on. But I thought it was really great that they were able to articulate, because some of these kids are really quite young and have not had a lot of conversations about these things, but they were still being able to articulate, and I thought that was really brave of all of them.
And you know, to give Glee props, I think Glee actually helps a lot of kids.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
I think back to my high school. Like sometimes you watch Glee and you're like, it feels very cheesy at times, or it feels kind of cliched when with the bullying and things like that. And I'm like, that's not the way it was. But I think back to high school, and that's kind of the way it was.
And there's a reason why cliches
Exist.
come up. It's because it happens over and
commonplace.
over again. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's very interesting to see these kids and imagine what their real life experiences in high school.
Yes.
You know? I'm far removed from high school now, and I can remember kind of
Absolutely.
through this show
Yeah.
how blessed and interesting and crazy and screwed up of a time high school really is and was. And that's why we watch high school television.
That's it. That's it.
All right, who else did we have? We had, we'll get to Marissa. Hannah had fat, Mateus had small, which they didn't spend much time on.
They didn't. No.
But, I mean, it was kind of self-evident. You know? But they liked that he had finally come into his own and said,
yes, he did.
and I mean, small. He's really small.
How
yeah.
do you guys know how tall he is?
He's in the 4 foot range. He's
Oh.
he's under
So
he's
that's-
under 5 feet tall.
And what's the proper term? Is it not? He's not a little person, but like, is it dwarf?
I don't know. It depends. I
Like
mean,
under
there are
a certain
different
height,
categories.
it's technically like.
yeah. But I believe it is dwarf. Do you know how old he is though?
He was 17.
17.
I don't remember.
I don't know. That's crazy though.
Yeah.
But that is the endearing part of his. What I liked about this episode was we saw the endearing parts of certain people, and now we're able to kind of negotiate who they are and how they're gonna play out. You know, like Samuel and Cameron. Like if they make the show, we'll certainly have some kind of romantic, like, pull. You know, those characters aren't just gonna be characters who sit there. They're gonna have some sort of romance and hormone because that's what's innate to who they are. Hannah, her size is probably going to be something, if she's a character that's exposed or talked about. And look at Ashley Fink's character, the big girl on the show right now. Hers is all about, she loves the size that she is. Like, she's fabulous with it. You know?
Yeah.
And on
McKinley, black and white, black or
McKinley.
white.
See, no, I don't want to say it's a cop out, but it did. That was the one when they were going through and they were all having such different ones. I kind of looked at it and I was like, is this feeling a little produced? That like they all were so different.
Right.
I was like, at first, like it was a talent competition, but I was like, every single one of them has something very different than the one next to him. Is that weird?
No, I didn't think about it until you said it.
Yeah, I didn't think about it
and
either.
It seemed like they had cast a diverse cast to have a diverse cast. I don't know. That
I
was a
don't
moment
either.
for me.
I don't
But
either, but-
McKinley, to me, was boring in this episode.
Yeah, she was.
Again, she floated through.
Yep.
But I think out of the bottom three that they choose, that she should have been in it. Because she didn't do anything for me to stand out.
Yeah.
Exactly. She didn't stand out.
She's very talented. She sounded great.
Yeah, she's
and,
great.
You know, the vulnerable, like she translated, but she doesn't pull.
Nope.
You know, and even to relate her to one of my favorite characters, only because I like underdogs, Tina on the show, is the Asian character.
Yeah.
Really beautiful voice, but tends to be kind of a bland character on the show.
And a background.
Yeah.
And a background because
Yeah,
they don't
background.
they don't really write to her. Look at Heather Morris, like they had so much richness in that character, that cheerleader character, and she's become one of the big stars of it. And then you look at Tina, who kind of like paces her way through.
Yeah.
And I feel like McKinley, if she's on the show,
I can't imagine she's going to make
Yeah.
I
it all
can't
the way through.
imagine that she'll
I
make it
just
all the
want
way through.
like a big star to go on the show.
Unless there's a huge turnaround, like, and she comes out of somewhere.
Right.
And I'm sure she has it, but like,
Right.
I don't see that going far.
No.
But then Marissa, when they're on the set, her first idea is to say flawed.
Flawed,
Right.
yeah.
Which I was kind of like, and again, she
Once
even
again,
realized.
oh,
I was like,
flawed.
I was like,
Come on.
I was like, oh, it must be so flawed to be beautiful. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah,
Must be so hard.
Must be so hard to be flawed.
Ask Lindsay.
Wow. You
But
do have
then
space between two of your teeth. Oh
She's
my God.
she's watching because they're able to watch the others
The playback.
perform, and she's watching Alex, who has the gay scene, and they were all moved by it. And
Yeah.
like that's actually like when you watch a music video and the reason they're made is so that you can desire to watch them again.
Yes.
And Alex's performance is one of those things that I only watched it once tonight. I want to rewatch that.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to rewatch this music video because it was such a beautiful, tender moment.
It really
Yes.
And it inspires Marissa to say on her sign,
I've been playing
I was
small. and
I was
need to-
anorexic.
Yeah.
And
I-
we talked about her and we were like, she's the cute one, she's the sexy one. We like really played out the fact that she was the one who like her looks would really help her get pretty
Yeah.
far. And this was the episode that I was like, wow, maybe pretty girls actually do have a hard life.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm also a Pretty Little Liars person, and like Hannah, that character, like she like is bulimic on the show or something,
Right.
or was.
Right.
And it makes you think, those pretty girls in
She's
high
just
school.
like
maybe
us.
they,
Yeah,
maybe they
everybody's-
did have a hard
Yeah.
time.
Everybody's got.
Everyone's
a
got
cross to
their.
bear.
I like
Everyone's
that
got
she
something.
did that. I
It was
think it
sad.
makes more appealing
and her,
to everyone.
Again, her performance in it. Normally, she's been kind of. If she wasn't so good looking, she would be boring.
Yeah.
No offense to her. Great voice. She's very good, but like if her look really helps sell her, that was a beautiful performance. It was sad. She's like laying on the ground. She's on her knees.
Yeah.
And it's just broken. I'm sorry, but this
Broken was
show,
the
like
perfect
I walked
word.
away and I like, I did a few fouettes in the room while I was kind of like, thinking things over.
Yeah.
And I was sad. Like it really put me in a mood.
I said that like 4
Yeah.
times. Over. God, that's such a sad moment. It
Yeah.
happened over
and that's
over
what good
again.
television is, when you
Yeah,
leave a
when
show
it
and
makes you
say
feel
it made you
something.
feel something.
Yeah.
It made me think about, and I was thinking like, what would mine have been? And
Yes, it does.
You
It
know?
makes you think about.
it makes you think,
Yeah.
and that's what Glee. Oddly enough, people are like, Glee is like just some fad thing where they sing pop songs to autotune. No, that show tends to make you think, or think back to
does.
high school and what it was like to be in your shoes.
Or create opportunities for conversation between people. I know, a fair amount of people who, kids who watch it with their parents, and
Yeah.
that starts conversations for them that they
For
wouldn't
the
normally be
family
able
to
have.
watch it, where like one of the characters comes out, if your
Yeah.
kid is gay or the friends are gay, like
Yeah.
to be able to have, now you have a way to make that conversation happen, and it just makes me happy that the Glee brand, here it is, the Glee is over, but here's the show, like the spinoff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those kind of conversations, it still stays to the heart of what it is.
Yes.
And that's what I really like about Ryan Murphy's kind of creative vision with the show, is it never deviates from kind of the moral purpose of what he wants. Entertainment with a reason.
And he's always thinking about that. You can
Yeah.
see it, because as he keeps talking about how he's looking for inspiration all the
Yeah.
time.
And how enjoyable is it when you watch, I don't know if you guys love it, but whenever Ryan Murphy comes in and you see him with his pen as he looks at talent, I'm sure that you've been to a million castings, or if you ever sat on the other side and you look at somebody and you're trying to picture what to do with them as you watch.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful to watch Ryan Murphy think.
Yes.
As he think and react as he watches
He's
those
an
auditions.
artist.
I will say though, it finally came to me this week as I was watching him sit there, and he sort of plays with his lower lip, and he's sitting there looking, and I don't know, there was something about how he looked this particular week. He looked like a really, really crazy maniacal John Malkovich.
I wrote that down. He looks like John Malkovich. That is so funny.
Scaring me this week. I
That
thought,
is
oh my
so
God.
spot on. He looks just like John
Isn't it?
Malkovich.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like,
now I'm
like
terrorized.
the crazy John Malkovich.
Yeah.
Not like the,
when he's
fun
like
guy.
playing and he's
Yeah.
like biting the pad.
Yeah, the
Wow.
serial
well
killer John
done.
Malkovich.
Good analysis.
That's a good
Points
analysis.
for you.
Thank you. Thank
Now
you.
I'm distracted by John Malkovich.
I know.
But let's go to the music video. So last week they did the rocker one in the cafeteria, and I love cafeteria
We're not going to
scenes.
take it, yeah.
But that one I didn't like the quality of how it was done.
No, yeah.
I like had a big complaint about how they directed it, blah blah blah.
Yep.
This one looked like a music video.
Yes.
Was it
I love
not
the
like-
black and white.
It was
Oh, I
artistic,
love
and like
the
if
black
you've
and
ever
white.
been to City Walk at Universal, like
sure, yeah.
it's cheesy.
It
and
is.
it's
cheesy.
so cheesy.
It's sensory
Overrated.
overload.
And, like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The way that they cross-faded from characters and slow-moed it, like in black and white, and like
They did
it was a great music
And
video.
I love this song. I love this
Yeah.
song.
Mad
I
World.
always have.
How does it start? I find it kind of funny. Oh wait, I'm
Kinda
starting different
sad.
keys,
We're all
but
three
you take
different
it.
keys. The
Funny.
dreams in which I'm dying are the
Best
best
I
I
ever
ever
had.
had. Find it kind of funny.
sad.
I find it hard to.
It's a mad world.
Yeah.
Wow, we are an amazing team.
Wow, I'm
Mad
impressed.
world. It's a mad world. It was such a good
Beautiful
song.
song, beautiful song.
And so go in for who you thought was the best in it. I think they had Alex just standing there as people walked by, and he's this big sign that says gay. So sad.
It could stop right there with me.
It was
Yeah.
so tender.
I just thought Alex was so.
You know, a music
beautiful.
video is made and so many images happen in it, and it's the one that you remember that really make it a good music video. I could not forget that.
I can't remember anything but now, actually, as we're talking.
Well, I'm trying to think
Well,
through.
Hannah's was really good, and she's walking, and you see people just stare
You
at
see
her.
people who are
judging
at a
her.
restaurant.
Yeah.
Well, you
Judging
see
her.
people, it's interesting because you see it at a restaurant. You know, they're eating and they see the girl with the fat sign walk by.
Yeah.
And hers is great. She has the first line. You know, she was great.
Yeah.
Hannah
I
did
really
well.
liked her in that one.
McKinley, entirely forgettable.
I don't remember.
You know, in fact, the only scene that she had, you still going there? The only scene that she had was them in the circle. They took a cut of her there, and then they took her walking through a crowd of black people. or like pushing
I
through.
didn't even get that.
I
I didn't
just-
even
I
get
don't
exactly what she's
remember.
walking through. That's how I wasn't even connected.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it was poorly directed or they just weren't inspired by her, but like that one didn't do much. Great girl,
Not for
great
me.
song, but
yeah,
you know.
she's cute though.
Lindsay, oh my God, we didn't even talk about what Lindsay's was.
Oh,
Fake. When she, oh, stupid. When she was like, mine is that I'm so, and she talks forever, and the kids are like,
I
shut
love the talking
Yeah, I
montage.
And they
Wasn't
take all
that
the
funny?
They took all the cuts of other people who are like, what? Tick tock, like, shut
yeah. Did you see
the
Samuel's face? Like, are
eyes
you
twirling
serious?
their
And Damien like looks at somebody who's like, what the fuck is she saying? I'm like, shut up. And when she's like, it's just I'm a trophy, and I'm like, if trophy is yours, like you're not a beauty queen, honey. You're like you're pretty.
She's cute.
She's cute. But you're not a beauty
Personality
queen.
kills
And
it.
when has ever a beautiful person said it's hard to be beautiful ever made anyone like them?
Never.
Right?
When a pretty girl's like, it's
Thank
hard to be
you.
pretty, like, never does that fly with people. But then she's like, I feel like people think that I'm fake. And literally, you can see it in everyone's, if all the rest of them are like, yes,
Yes!
you said it.
You
you
said
know,
it.
You realize you're so fake.
Thank you.
I can't stand her.
I like that she
can't
picked
stand
fake
her.
though. I really did. I was like,
so
finally.
happy. I was like, maybe that was the first genuine moment we've had from Lindsay.
yes.
It is.
Annoying little bitch. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. So
She's so mean.
I don't remember her in the music video. Okay, and next. And then
Yeah,
who
I
else
don't
was
either.
there? Well, Marissa.
Emily.
Oh, Emily. Emily's was used, and she's
Used.
walking past people, and they're like
Looking
kissing at her, or they're looking
Yeah.
at her, and it's very interesting because I don't think Emily you would see like in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Emily wouldn't stand out as a beauty. You know.
No.
She's cute though, but
She's
not,
cute, but she wouldn't be one of the models that's taken advantage of. But I can tell from being from New York, and she's an ethnic girl and has a lot of attitude. That
Yeah, a
she
lot of
probably was.
sass.
She probably was exposed to a lot of people who said that they were something that they weren't.
Yeah.
Said that they could offer her something,
right.
and took advantage of her. New York's a different beast than LA.
Yeah.
And it was tender, but she ends up in the bottom 3 because they didn't like that she would break character between scenes.
Yeah,
Yes.
she kept doing
Yeah.
that.
You know.
And
hard to
it
take her
was one of those
seriously.
people. I think she's one of those people who is uncomfortable with silences. So
Definitely.
she can't.
But that's also
she's
a
got to
trait-
fill them all the time. All the
That's
time.
a
Gotta be
trait of a
talking-
performer too.
Yeah.
You know that silence can be golden when it's done well, but for some people it makes them feel like I need to fill the air, like it's a compulsive thing. You know. I know, like
But I think and in fact, I know it for a fact. Being comfortable with silences can be one of the most powerful tools a person has.
Absolutely.
There's no question.
especially for an actor.
Yes.
Silences can be gold.
Yes.
But Emily, I didn't see anything wrong in her performance.
No, I didn't either.
But it wasn't so emotionally remarkable. Like Alex, you could see his like lower lip quiver. You know, it was so it was
Yeah.
on the verge of tears
It's
the whole time.
real.
It was real.
felt
the
it.
eyes like burned into your soul. It was beautiful. But Emily like gets in the bottom 3 because of the way she acted on
Yeah,
set.
her humor was hurting her
Yeah.
performance.
And
Yeah.
that's a key thing. They talked about that with what's her hecker who left last week. Petite.
Yeah, the way
Yes.
she acted on set. They need to realize that they're being judged at all times.
all the time.
Yes.
You know,
All times.
and I know, like I did the Laramie Project once. So horribly sad, sad show. And I had 2 characters that had to cry. And I know for me that day, I think our opening day, I watched Passion of the Christ before we which just put me in like an awful mood, like method acting, like that's. If you have to be vulnerable, you really take yourself somewhere. And I can entirely understand where if they're looking at Emily, John Malkovich,
He's doing the lip thing.
if they're looking at Emily on set, when Glee gives you all those challenges, you have to be able to walk onto the set already kind of in the mindset to
Right.
just focus on what's happening for the camera.
Yeah.
Right.
It's fun to have fun on set, and no one wants a diva, but you have to be deep in the character if it's emotional.
Oh, I have a question. When they, they kept going, okay, let's go back to 1 with her, several times. Why was that? Was it? I didn't really understand.
I don't think
that.
she was doing anything wrong. I think they were just resetting.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because if there was something wrong, I think they would have mentioned it.
Right. Okay.
And
Yeah.
I also think that the director, if he wanted more emotions out of her, it seemed like, they only shot it in one day, like half a day.
Yeah,
Like, they
and you've got
flew
10
through that
people you
shooting.
got to hit. So,
And and that's like the way of the beast, especially for Glee. Like they don't have time to do it a million times, so you've just got to be in it.
That's right.
It actually made me think about. I think one of the best performances I've seen behind the scenes. Ashley Judd is in a movie with Morgan Freeman where she has the Kiss the Girls,
Kiss,
where she
yeah.
cries. That's
Yes.
a beautiful, beautiful scene. And she even said, Angelina Jolie has the same method, that they will go to the darkest, darkest places that they possibly can, and no one can talk to them, and then they'll walk on set and just break all the walls down. And Emily was having a good old time. And it was smart of them to say, as an actor, this could be dangerous for us if she's going to be so distracted.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
She
Yeah.
has to
She's
come
going to be
in
able
with
to
the-
get there.
She's going to be on a
in
stage
time.
filled with lights, filled with all these kind of things, and has to
about
realize, like,
distractions,
you
yeah.
just need to be the actor. You just need to focus on what you have to do for this scene.
Yeah.
Sorry, dissertation on Emily's mistake. And then to my second favorite performance out of the whole thing was Marissa. You know?
In the video?
Yeah. Marissa's anorexic thing was
Yeah.
her eyes. She has kind of like a wolf like I think if Kristen Stewart wasn't in Twilight, that Marissa would have done very well. Because she has she's a beautiful complexion.
Yes.
And her eyes have a real tenderness to them. And
And her
when
lips.
they took the tight on her and she's so sad in that moment, I was really moved. I really loved Marissa. I'm sorry, I'm getting really
Good.
deep about
Yeah,
this show.
you are.
The show
No.
really inspires
like
me.
this one.
I'm in the weirdest mood.
mood.
But Marissa was, I think, fabulous in this. You know, so if my stars, I would say Alex and Marissa this week. And Emily. Which brings us to our bottom three.
Yes,
Oh, we
let's.
forgot Damien. Damien, numb, goes up the
Yeah.
the
Escalator.
escalator and looks at girls and is sad about it.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I
Okay,
didn't get
cool.
it.
It's
Cool.
hard for him to be just like
Well-
simple, like they were saying.
Yeah.
Numb. Pretty
But
difficult emotion
that's
to
an
portray.
emotion because otherwise it could look like you did nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
You know?
passive. It's
passive.
passive.
Very
You know,
passive,
and
yeah.
How do you
How do you-
think? I think he was probably thinking too much about how to play
Yeah.
it, rather than just be numb. Don't act. Be.
Right.
B.
That is what acting is. La la la. So then they announced their bottom three.
Yes.
But they put a bottom
Four.
And
Yes.
How hopeful was I that this was Lindsay's week to go on?
I was really excited.
They were like everyone but Lindsay, Emily. I'm giving them an accent they don't have. Lindsay, Emily, Cameron, and Damien. Everyone else can go. And I was like, bottom four. Oh my God, Lindsay's in the bottom four. I hate Lindsay. Send Lindsay. I hate Lindsay so much. Because I know the second she gets in front of Ryan Murphy and talks back to him, and he sees her real emotion, he's gonna be like, he's gonna be like, screw that bitch. Like, no way. I already have stars on the show. Like, I don't need you, honey.
Yeah.
I bet Lindsay's listening, but probably doesn't agree with me because she loves herself.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't understand what they were really doing there. Why they put her in the bottom four.
Maybe to scare
And
her a
then-
little
Probably,
bit.
yeah.
I think it was to scare her, and I think it was kind of to get us excited. Because in reality, I think everyone watching doesn't like her.
Yeah. They made it
I do
work
think that
around
our opinion represents a good portion of people watching
I'm
the show.
sure
Yeah.
of that. I'm sure.
Because
of
most
that.
people, you don't like fake people.
Nope.
No.
Or know-it-alls, or
Know-it-alls. When she's like
people who are-
spouting at the mouth about like what the lesson is about, they're like, we
Right.
get it. Like I understand what vulnerability is. Like
Yeah.
I get that. Oh, they're promoting for the next week. Oh yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited to see that
Sorry,
one.
I'm superbly distracted. Okay, back to it. Back to it. So they actually, the bottom three are actually Emily, Cameron, and Damien.
Yep.
I was a little shocked by that. I would have put different people in the bottom three.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
not have put Emily or Cameron in the bottom three.
I was
One,
so happy
if
to
anything,
see
if you watch the
Emily.
music video back, like Cameron maybe misunderstood, wasn't so deep, but
Right.
like he was so cute.
I know, you can't
I'm
forget
sorry,
that part.
like, I'm watching a music video. I'm a teenage girl. I buy things
Yeah.
in
other than
love
just
with
tampons,
Cameron.
and it was so cute. So didn't agree there. So the songs that they are assigned to sing, Damien does Elvis Presley's "Are You Lonesome Tonight?" Beautiful song. Emily has "I Will
Grenade.
Catch a Grenade for Ya." Great song. And then Cameron has "My Gift Is My Song," and this one's for you. Elton John classic, Your Song.
Yep.
love that song.
that song.
Oh,
Great choices for the three of them.
oh, perfect
Yeah,
for the characters.
again,
Now,
you know,
the
and for
other
the
weeks-
lesson, the vulnerability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then they go into the room. Damien has a breakdown. Damien falls apart.
He
like,
does.
realizes
Crying
something.
for 20 minutes of his 2 hours.
Cry, which you don't have that golden time to
No,
do.
you don't. What is
That,
that?
like, that was a great.
Suck it up,
I
buddy.
was almost thinking that when he went out there and sang that song that he would cry again, which would have been awesome.
Well, he
Oh,
did at the
yeah.
end.
Yeah,
He
after he
did,
finished.
Yeah, after he finished,
yeah.
which I think was part of the reason why they kept him.
Yeah.
That his performance was really great of that song.
Yes, it was.
He was so good.
Oh, his eyes.
Are you
Cute eyes.
lonesome?
when he
Is
sings.
he the one that they said it's the best performance he's done?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Throughout.
Okay, yeah.
And they said, come back next week with this if you
Yeah.
come back. And then now he's coming back.
Yeah.
And now he knows what he has to do.
Yeah.
Which will
so
be
maybe
hard,
he
but-
will make that kind of turn the way Emily did last week to this week. So this week
Yeah,
to next.
but
perhaps he-
Emily, so Emily performs Grenade. She does an amazing job at it.
Yeah.
Sounds
she did a good job.
amazing. Looked amazing. Bad outfit. Weird.
Yeah,
it
what
is.
was that?
Weird frumpy outfit, but like I'm not gonna kill her for that. And then is so funny and flips the switch when she's in the interview. That like I've always said, like after they're done singing and they have the little talk back, that's their moment to really shine. That's
Yes.
the moment.
Yeah,
that's
we talked
really
about that
memorable.
last week.
And I thought she was so good. She made them laugh. She exited and she was talking her way off the stage. I loved it.
I like that too.
What do you think about Emily? I feel like you're
Well,
thinking about
I
it.
felt like the last quarter of her song, she was like desperately treading water or
Yeah.
something. She was just pushing it way too hard. I felt in
Like getting
the
on
last
the floor.
She was
Yeah,
pushing
getting
it.
on the floor and
Trying to get a lot more emotion
And she
than-
was not connecting with the song or her audience at that point. She was just she was singing for her life. At
Yeah,
that
just
point.
trying to impress
She was singing
them.
for her life.
Yeah,
That's what
and-
I saw in the emotional by the end. Was
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
You just
but
wanna
for
stay.
me,
No
I didn't.
attachment.
It bothered me. The last quarter of her song just bothered me.
It didn't wow
kill
me.
It didn't wow you? Because
Yeah.
I thought vocally she sounded awesome.
I did too. I thought she sounded great.
That's a challenging song,
Did
you know?
I just not too much character?
This was the first week, and I think she's
feel-
super annoying, that I fell in love with the little, like, the sassy siren.
Leguizamo,
Or when she brought on
yeah.
stage and she was like, I'm the legendary. And, like, I love that. If I was a
I like
producer,
that
I was
too.
like, oh my God, I love this girl. So she leaves, and then Cameron comes out. I thought he was the cutest.
Yes.
Okay, we
Like
know
his
that I have like
outfit.
such a crush on Cameron.
Yeah,
but
you
he has
do.
this
Yeah.
like nice little black and purple 3-piece
Suit, yes.
so adorable, purple lighting, sings his little song. I thought it was a great performance.
I thought it was
It's not like
wonderful.
his vocals aren't like going to change your life, but he has a
No.
beautiful tone to his voice.
Yeah.
And then Ryan looks at him, and I was kind of shocked by Ryan's reaction. Ryan said, I don't get it.
I can't write
He was
for
like,
that.
I can't write for that. Like, you're perfect, or like you're not emotional, or if you don't have something to pull from emotional, you're like, how are you going to last on the show? That's what the show's about. And then he was like, and then they showed them the picture of him as like the hipster that he is, and
Yeah.
he goes, come back on stage like
As
that.
that guy.
I didn't
That-
expect that.
I didn't expect. I loved it. I loved
Shocking.
the
He
power
got,
of
he got a
Ryan
second
Murphy.
chance.
I loved the power of Ryan Murphy to be like, this didn't work for me. Go back and come back. I want to see. I'd be honored to be.
He had that opportunity. I thought
and
that
how
was
much better was he the second
He was
time?
so much
right?
better. Like, and it wasn't about the vocals, because I think vocally the first time he was great.
Yes.
And I thought he performed it very, very well.
Yes.
But it was about the look and the kind of complexity of what he looks
the
like.
vibe he was
He
giving
was like,
off.
and when he went up on his toes the last one, like when he puts
that
his
little
when he
move that
when he
he
quirks
does.
his toes
Yeah.
in,
Yes.
he inverts, like it's just so awkward. And when he walked off stage, he was so awkward, so endearing.
You know, I noticed myself smiling the entire time he was singing, like he was serenading me. Did anyone else feel
That's
that? You're just
great.
smiling.
In my heart, in my pants, I love him. That's why I think he deserves to be on this show, because I feel
Yes,
like
he
if you were to
does.
watch him, like there's a lot of cute guys. Like Cord Overstreet on the show is so cute.
Oh, yes.
But if you put Cameron on there, I don't think it would be about the sex. I think you'd fall in love with him.
Yeah.
Like Robert Pattinson, that's his appeal. He's not sexy.
He's not, yeah,
charming.
But he's so charming.
Ugh,
and endearing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Cameron is very charming and endearing.
Mm-hmm.
So then they announce the one to get cut. And
The legendary Emily Vasquez.
Emily
The
is cut.
Spitfire.
I was really upset, actually. This was the first time that I didn't want her to go home. And especially I was like, Lindsay vocally performed. I mean, Emily was on par with Lindsay this week vocally.
Yes.
And I thought Emily's parts in the music video were better than Lindsay's. Maybe I'm just vying for Lindsay to die. But like Lindsay should have been there. I don't think it was Emily's time to go
This
home.
was I should have brought this up earlier when we were talking about Emily's performance, but what I wrote, the last note I wrote on my notebook was that Emily left because the theme was vulnerability, and she wasn't showing vulnerability in that last song. At least not in the last quarter or third of it, as I said.
I mean, I guess so, but like, and Damien, but like, I was looking at it and I was thinking about the show and who, as a fan, what I would want to see. And
Right.
this was the first time that I would want to see Emily on the show.
Yeah.
I was sad that she
Not me.
went
I
home.
was
And I
glad she
think,
went.
McKinley, I think
Thought it
there's
was
other.
awesome.
Well, out of those three, who did you want to go home? Out of Damien, Cameron,
Lindsay.
Lindsay number 4.
throw it back in
I
there.
choose number 4. I almost thought that the shocker when they were like, oh, this is a shocking decision. I thought they were going to keep them all, actually. I thought they were all so good.
I thought they were gonna do that in the first episode. I was hoping they didn't.
But if I had to cut somebody, I would have cut Damien. I love him to death.
Really?
But to me, he doesn't have the legs to stay. You know, he's not vocally huge. He's not a huge dancer, and his character's cute and endearing, but it's not enough for me.
But maybe he can grow. Maybe
Blah,
that's the
blah,
point.
blah.
But he's an
Everyone can
underdog,
grow.
right?
Like, I'm not copping out to like, maybe they'll get better. No, this is your time to be good.
That's right.
This is called an audition. But then they tease for the next episode coming up. What was that? They're in like these crazy urban, colorful
hip-
get-ups,
right.
hip hopping. Like
Yeah.
Hannah's breaking it down.
Yeah.
And then Marissa's up like jiggling on the wall.
And
And everyone was like
right.
watching. I was like, what? Like, what is she doing?
It's just
And
awkward
I'm
watching
really
it.
sinning in
Was
their
it,
minds or
was it
whatever.
like the LMFAO shuffle? Like,
It must.
you know?
Yeah.
I'm
something
really
like
excited
that.
to see what that's all
Me
about.
too. Me too.
And I loved Hannah's reaction. They're like, dance ability. She's like, oh shit. Dance is huge on that show, though.
Yes,
If you
it
think about-
is.
I think next week is going to be painful for
I
several of our contestants.
But you see, Hannah does like the worm on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You know,
like
that's why I
that.
love Hannah, because she is one of those girls who are like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll get a bruise. I'll try it again. Like she's an entertainer. She's a
Yes.
comedian.
Yeah.
You know, she's
born
that
to do
girl
that.
in the cast who's like always gonna make them happy. To me, is gonna be one if she joined that cast of people. People are gonna fall in love with her because she doesn't look like a star. But
Right,
she
yeah.
would become one because she's so funny and endearing, and I think that family of the cast would really take her in. Again, this is me political voting for Hannah.
The big girl.
Yeah. But so
Me too, though.
so why don't we get to our predictions and some news and gossip
Okay.
after a short commercial break.
Yes.
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
It's television and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AfterBuzz TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
The wig! The wig will come out. That wig.
When the TV show is over, get your AfterBuzz on.
Welcome back to the Glee Project here on AfterBuzz TV. We're quickly going to go into predictions of what we see for next show. So who do you think is going to be the next, if you had to predict, not that we would know.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Kiss me, kiss me. We should have E.T. by Katy Perry. That's
Yes.
prediction music. Who do you see in the bottom three? Who do you see in the bottom three? That was a
McKinley.
bad riff.
McKinley.
McKinley. She needs to go. Sorry.
Yeah. I think
she
I
needs
love
to
you,
go.
but
She doesn't have that wow factor.
you're not holding the fort.
Lindsay.
Lindsay, absolutely.
Lindsay, but Lindsay's a good dancer, and the next one's dance. I think she's probably gonna stick through.
Oh, is
but-
she?
Yeah, she's a
Okay.
good dancer. I think, but if we could put her in the bottom, do it.
I think Damien's gonna have trouble next week.
Damien's not a dancer. Things that they tease that Hannah had some struggles, but then when they show her doing the work,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know. I also think Ryan Murphy would look at this and he would cast multiple people.
I think so too. I think he's a fool if he doesn't.
I think he should. To do all that work to see so much of a performer
And get
they're,
one.
they're,
One.
they're hiring, they're looking for a whole new cast
yeah.
soon, you know? So, and there's definitely, to me, okay, so if you had to put people on the show,
Okay.
if you could
So-
predict people who actually could find a place on the show.
I would say Hannah for sure.
I love Hannah.
Yeah,
What about,
Hannah.
what about you?
Hannah's in mine.
Okay.
Alex.
Alex for sure.
Alex,
Hannah and Alex for sure.
I think will probably win this competition.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I think the make or break on him is if Ryan Murphy thinks that they already have too much black gay thing on the show.
Right.
If they've-
I
if
think so.
they've
Yeah,
hit-
that
if they've
could be.
hit those,
That could be.
and if he's too close to Mercedes and Kurt, like if he's hybridized too much, you know, that's gonna hold him back.
I like Samuel.
You do?
I do. He's so different from everyone else, and the way he
You
looks
do?
and his
'Cause he has
eyes.
dreads?
Well, his eyes too.
And he's
They're
kind
very
of has
endearing.
Eskimo ethnicity.
Yeah, it's kind of
He's
cute.
like kind of like pseudo Asian.
But who can you say looks like him?
I don't
Right?
know.
Lenny Kravitz.
Like pot smokers. I think if he had a role, it would be like the pot smoker, which
Like the
hasn't
bad one?
happened.
That hasn't happened
Actually,
yet.
That hasn't happened.
Don't have the
ding.
stoner
But
dude.
let's go back to my dream, Cameron.
yes, Cameron.
And I actually would find a place for Marissa.
Okay.
I think
sure.
Marissa. They're going to be getting rid of some of the girls. I don't think she's vocally strong enough to be huge, but I think she could be a good bit character.
I think she
Or,
could too. I was going to say Mateus, but I think Mateus fits the same kind of category as Arnie.
Yep.
So I don't think that necessarily is a good one. So I could get behind.
I also don't know if he's
Marissa.
built for TV. You know, and whatever they morph him into will be. But his look for me, I just don't see him fitting in. Mm-hmm. I know the show's about not fitting in, but I can't make sense of him.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Ryan Murphy.
Yeah. But I think Marissa is a good choice.
But yeah,
as
I think Alex is my float through to the top. I do not foresee him getting eliminated anytime soon for any of these people. And if I am wrong, I will be shocked and I will be upset. But in Glee news and gossip, there's some news and gossip out.
Yes.
This week they announced the final plans for
AfterBuzz TV News.
Yes! They announced news about who's going to be leading the series.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
I didn't see this. Do
after
tell.
the following year. And these actors all said that they were fine with it. You know, like they knew that it was going to happen. But in their head, they're probably like, shit, what's going to feed me next week? But they're going to be replacing Leah Michele, Corey, Chris Colfer, Mercedes, and possibly others.
Wow.
Mercedes too?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all going to stay for I think they're going to come back or visit from college or still be in the town. Like their characters will still live.
Yeah.
But at this point right now, those are the ones who are going to be going. They're stars, like their biggest original cast, which is a big gamble, but smart. And wait a second, there was another big news item this week. They're on tour. Darren Criss is their new breakaway star. Recently fell off stage at one of the shows, was shaking hands with some audience members. An audience member pulled him into the pulpit
and then
in a 17,000 person arena. He's perfectly fine. He got out safely, but pulled from the stage as he was shaking us as a fan's hand.
So scary.
Something recently happened to Miley Cyrus too. A fan rushed the stage to go put their arm around her and take 14-year-old girl, tackled by security. Tackled. But if you're these Glee kids, can you imagine what it's like for them to go around? And so in other news, there's some more. The casting is not just happening on the show. They are intensely looking for people. I have friends who are working at a casting agency that is doing the primary casting for Glee. And the roles that they are looking for they are vying so hard for Taylor Swift to come and audition for the show. They really want Taylor Swift to come out for the show. And in my opinion, Taylor Swift, one, they haven't done any of her songs. She's such a huge high school character.
Huge.
And I don't know where her career's actually going to go.
Right.
I think she might need to start diversifying because she might become one of those Debbie Gibson, Tiffany. Huge for the time.
And
doesn't have the legs. Doesn't have the legs to keep going at 10 years down the road. You know.
That's a good way to look at it.
Lady Gaga will be an icon forever. When she's 70, I'm still going to go to the Lady Gaga show. She's like Diana Ross, Magaga.
Right.
Magaga. Thank you. But I think Taylor Swift would do very well to go into the show.
Yeah.
And the other, they're really casting for people who sound like Adele. They're looking for girls with the vocal qualities of Adele, which everyone is. So so is Jesus for his Choir of Angels, Adele, the most brilliant voice. And Ryan Murphy announced that in the coming season they're going to be having fewer to no guest stars.
Oh, really?
And less music.
Less
music.
Still, that was great. That they are going to cut down on the amount of every show is 5 songs or constant performances.
Yeah.
They're going to try
really develop story.
direct because they've just brought in the whole writing staff, a new writing staff to branch it. That they want it to become more of a series. Not just something that's going to be so
showcase for music.
Showcase for popular music because it's only going to last so long.
Wow, that's really interesting.
That is really interesting, actually.
And they said it's poised to come because I think they're still going to get the huge ratings that they do because it's leading towards graduation. And every high school show always gets its highest ratings in the graduation because people want to know what are people going to do, what's going to happen to relationships. It's the most kind of in high school that was the most high school that was the most kind of rift time, and that's what's going to be the most interesting. So they're taking their gamble in that season to see how it's going to pan out.
That's exciting.
And it is exciting, and it's smart of Ryan Murphy's crew with what they're doing with Glee in that Glee's worth so much money and can make so much money, but instead of trying to milk a cast for 7 seasons
until
in high
you're
school,
dead and want them to go
until the show has to end.
Yes,
that they're going to try to revitalize it, and if that fades, it fades. But at least they will have had their super success. Like Buffy brilliant show, cult classic, kept going after a few seasons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan, so it's good for fans, but kept going, so it lost the huge demographic.
Yeah.
But that's the biggest news in the Glee world.
That is big news, and I think it's really a smart risk to take. I really do.
Oh, we're being queued out to go. It has been an amazing week, an amazing episode. So excited to see what the LMFAO shuffle is for next week. Ladies, as usual, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all so much. Follow us on Twitter, get us on Facebook, and of course watch The Glee Project. Good. Some bad world.
Bad world.
Bad world.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.